Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's do that again. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're still on this high holy day mode as we wind down with Yom Kippur and come into the sukkah. We welcome each other into this this tent of love, this tent of goodness, this tent of a warm embrace. And so we open our service tonight with a nigun, a song without words. So leave your prayer books closed for a moment. Open your heart, allow your soul to fly as we sing Aididai together. Everyone, we welcome you to Temple Akiba of Culver City. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, here with Ketralani Freilich and our choir director and accompanist tonight, Mary Lou Basaraba. There's often a term for people the day after Yom Kippur. That term is tired tushies. But you don't have that. You're here to celebrate, you're here to be together. And not only is it Shabbat, but this is, of course, the weekend when Mimi becomes a bat mitzvah. And you're surrounded not only by your family and extended family, but your Temple Akiba family as well. And we can't wait for tonight and tomorrow to unfold. For those who may be here for the first or second, or in the Murphy's family case, third time, because this is the third in a row, we welcome you home. We welcome you back. And if you're here for the first time and maybe a little bit unfamiliar with Temple Akiba, just a couple of things. First of all, we ask that you make sure that your cell phone is turned off. And while it is off, just make sure that it's kept away so that you don't need to take photos during the service. Just capture the moment in your heart. And Kendra, do you want to talk about our music tonight?
Sure, I'd love to. So at Temple Akiba, we love to have engagement with our congregation. We love to hear you sing. So some of the melodies might sound familiar, some might not, but even if you don't know the words or you don't know the melody, hopefully you'll pick it up because a lot of our tunes are repetitive and we love to hear your voices. So sing la la la, or sing if you know it, sing if you don't know it, or if you don't feel comfortable, sway to the music. But we love, especially now that we have a congregation in front of us, it's so exciting. So we'd love to see your faces. We love to hear your voices. So engage, participate as much as you're able to.
And for those who are joining us via Zoom or YouTube, you're very much part of this family, and we hope that you'll add your liturgy to the liturgy in the book, And we encourage you to greet one another in the Zoom area and to share words of Shabbat Shalom with one another there as well. So Shabbat begins when the world around us is getting a little bit darker, and what we have to do is bring light into the world, spiritual as well as physical. So Mimi, we're going to invite you and your parents and your brother and sister to come forward to light our Shabbat candles. We are in our prayer books on page 2.
And we turn to page 5 for our Kiddush, and we invite all who are able to please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Omer peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kosho v'ahava u'ratzon kinilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, kikuyam tehila lemikra'e kadesh, sefer l'tzion Mitzrayim, kibanu v'harta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat Kosher, v'ahava u'ratzon, kinhaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashavat. Amen.
Please be seated, everyone. We have a number of people from the congregation we'd like to introduce who have a few words to share. The first, representing our board of directors, is Andrew Lackman. Andrew, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
Right there?
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, Mimi and the Marish family, welcome. Congratulations on behalf of Temple Akiba. This is a very exciting occasion. I know you're going to do fantastic. Very quickly, we'd just like to, on behalf of the congregation, share with you our congratulations to you and your family. And we will present the certificate of bat mitzvah in advance, so I guess we'll have that tomorrow. Okay, so this is what happens when I don't have enough advance. No, I'm just kidding. Someone will be there to present that to you as well. But this is a very exciting day, and it's great to have the entire Akiba family here to share this moment with you and welcome you into a greater Jewish community family that you will be a part of for a long time to come. So congratulations, and I hope everyone had a very easy fast. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Also representing our congregation, we'd like to invite forward a representative of our sisterhood, and I believe that's Wendy Senelis tonight, along with a representative from our men's group, and that's Herman Barnabas. And Amy, if you can come up and stand at the podium with them as well.
Hi, Amy. I'm Wendy Senelik, and I'm representing Sisterhood tonight. And I want to present you with your Kiddush. Mimi is friends with my older daughter Ella, which I get a little emotional about, because their group of friends, they're amazing. It's 9 girls that they met in baby camp, right? And then they kind of sealed their friendship at resident camp when they named their cabin the Kestrels, and now they have their group chat, the Kestrels. And I just think this embodies everything that is Temple Akiba, which is community and friendship. And now you're an adult with all these Kestrels, and I know that you will do your Temple Akiba community proud. And with your Kiddush cup, I hope that you will celebrate many happy occasions with it, and that you'll think of your Kestrel friends and will always be in your hearts. Mazel tov on your bat mitzvah. I know you'll do a great job, and have so much fun.
I know it's a long way around. I don't want to trip on the wires. Yes. Miriam, I'm Herman Barnett, and I'm the representative of the men's group of Temple Akiba. We are going to present you tonight with a Tanakh. The Tanakh is the complete Hebrew Bible, except it's in English. It makes life easy for you. You know, we have restarted Saturday morning Torah study. Here is your Torah also. But if you want to join us for Torah study, and we hope you will, it's already in here. You've got your own book. You've got a book that is yours for life, your personal Bible. There are places in it to write good things, unfortunately, sad things also. It's inscribed with your name and the date of your bat mitzvah. It's something that you should cherish. You should always look to it. Any questions you need answered as far as Judaism is concerned, if the rabbi can't answer them, and he can answer almost every one of them, you'll find them in here also. Mazel tov, congratulations, and mazel tov and congratulations to the family. Lars, would you come forward, please? Lars, would you please come forward? That's it, honey. Thank you very much. I don't have to introduce myself again, do I? No. Lars recently became a Jew by choice. And because he has attended so many of the men's group functions on Zoom, we have decided to also present him with a Tanakh. You now have your own Hebrew Bible. And as I said before, join us for Torah study on Saturday morning. You'll find everything you want to know in this book. Mazel tov, congratulations, and welcome to the group. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Herman. Thank you so much, Herman. Herman, you said that I know a lot of the answers. A lot of my answers are incorrect, though. So it's going to be Mimi for you and for Lars a lifelong journey.
Yeah, but I didn't dare say that.
Right. It's a lifelong journey to try to find the correct ones. One more announcement, and that is some gratitude to Sienna Burris, who greeted people as they came into our prayer space tonight. It's one of the how do I put this? It's really an honor to be welcomed into a prayer space, and it's something that when people are studying to become bar and bat mitzvah, they can choose to do this as part of their journey to becoming a Jewish adult. So Sienna, thank you so much for welcoming us in with such gravitas, with such depth, and we do appreciate that. Cantor, how are we continuing?
We continue on page 20 with the singing of Ricardo, a mystical prayer that was said to be written by the Kabbalists, and it is sort of a metaphor for Shabbat as a bride. So we're going to do verses 1, 2, and 9 this evening, and on verse 9, we ask for all who are able to please rise, and you're going to face an entrance. Let's see, we have an open entrance. So most of you came through that door over there, so we're going to face the door to the annex over there. For those of you at home, you can face any entrance in your homes, and this is our way of welcoming in the Sabbath bride. Ya la 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 l'chaduri, ya la 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 l'krakala, ya la 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 k'nei Shabbat, k'nei Shabbat nekaben, ya la 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 l'chaduri, ya la 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 l'krakala, ya la 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 k'nei Shabbat, k'nei Shabbat. Shamor v'zachor, v'ribor echad, hishmiyanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet, l'litila. Ya la 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 l'chaduri, ya la 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 l'krakala, ya la 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 k'nei Shabbat, k'nei Shabbat nekaben, ya la 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 l'chaduri, ya la 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 l'krakala, ya la 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 k'nei Shabbat, k'nei Shabbat nekaben. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'necha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'mashma tefila. Ya la la l'chaduri, ya la la l'krakala, ya la la k'nei Shabbat, k'nei Shabbat nekaben, ya la l'chaduri, ya la l'krakala, ya la k'nei Shabbat, k'nei Shabbat nekaben. We rise and face the entrance. Oviv v'shalom, atem et malav, kan besimcha, v'zohora, toch emunei, am segula. Ya
except for
Except for
Mimi, who we want her to come forward. We're continuing with the Kiddush, everyone, on page 26. Wonderful, Mimi. Thank you so much. You can go back to your seats, but don't sit down because we're going to ask everyone to rise. And we're on page 28 for our formal call to worship the Baruch Hu. We continue on page 34 with Shema Yisrael. Mimi's going to be leading us in the Via Havta. Excuse me, Mimi will be leading us in the Via Havta. We're on page 36, everyone.
שהיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובבטחך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לבביכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Thanks, Miriam. Beautiful, beautiful job. Have a seat. We're going to continue, everyone, on page 39, the top. Let's please read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, the promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Our Michamocha is on page 40. Turn to page 42, everyone, for the Hashki Venu prayer. This is a very special prayer when we are about to celebrate the festival of Sukkot. If you look 3 lines down in the Hebrew, it has 4 words. Please repeat after me. Ufros, Aleinu, Sukkot, Shlomecha. That means spread over us a sukkah or a shelter of shalom, of your shalom, of your peace. And it's a reminder that whenever we go through difficult moments in life, that God's embrace, the possibility of it is always there. And so this song has really just 4 words, those 4 that we just said, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. And then it has some nigun, some yalalais in between.
Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shalom.
Hey! Turning now to page 46, we come to the tefillah, the main central part of our service. We invite Mimi to come back forward, who will be leading us, and we invite all who are able once again to please rise.
Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Haribor, El-Ra, El-Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Be'monei Hakol, Be'saker Hasdei Elohim Hakol, U'me'binu Avim Be'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Havim, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Atah, Rav Le'Hoshia, Mechayeh Chaim Be'Chesed, Mechayeh Hakol Be'Rachamim Rabim, Salomech Noflim, Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem emunato Tishenei Ava Michamocha Bal Gevurot Umidomela Melech Benizi Mechayeh Umatzmi Al Yeshua Emanata L'Chayot Yaakov Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh Hakol. Kadosh Shivon Kadosh, V'Kedoshim Mevolam, V'Mevolam Chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Malelu HaKadosh.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Friends, we can continue with our prayer books between pages 52 and 62. Or else perhaps look at the liturgy of what's going on in your own hearts. Take this moment for real introspection as we pray silently. When you're finished with your own private prayers, you may be seated.
Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. Lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat, shalom. May you have a peaceful day. Shabbat, shalom. May you have a restful day. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. Lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat, shalom. As we watch the candle shine. Shabbat, shalom. Cover the challah, pour the wine. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. Lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat, shalom. Time to take a big deep breath. Let's take a big deep breath. Shabbat, shalom. A special day for us to rest. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you for that prayer of light, of peace. We also very much need prayers of healing. If we open to page 253, right in the center is our Misha Berach for healing. And this is an opportunity for us to think very deeply about those who could use our prayers of wholeness. As we pray together, we invite you at home to share names in the chat box for those for whom you are thinking. And when we get to the center of the prayer, for those who are here in person, as my eyes meet yours, please share those names out loud, because it's meaningful, so that we hear who's in your hearts. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
For 1 million rabbi points, how many Torah portions are there in a Jewish calendar year?
All of them.
What's that, Jonathan?
All of them.
All of them. Wow, that's a good answer. All right, let's be more specific than that. Anyone know just any gurus? Okay, so there are 54 of them. 54. So it's more than there are weeks actually in the lunar calendar or the solar calendar. Some of them get smushed together. That's why we often have double Torah portions. And of course, every once in a while, the Jewish year is longer than the solar year because we add a month in every 2 to 3 years. At this time of year, I often get curious about how the weekly Torah portions are structured. One might think that on Rosh Hashanah we begin again at Genesis, but we don't. We don't do that until Simchat Torah, which is about a month after Rosh Hashanah. So we've got a month of stuff that happens. A whole bunch of holidays. A lot of them begin with the letter S. Of course, there's Sukkot, there is Shmini Atzeret, there is Simchat Torah, and I think there's another one in there called Shadunkas that gets, kind of stuck in there every once in a while. There's a lot of holy days. For clergy, we call this our tax season because it really is a blitz of joy. A blitz of joy. We don't begin the Torah anew until Simchat Torah. We want all the other renewals to happen. And at the end of that renewal season, then we begin Torah again. I was looking pretty carefully at the many different kinds of Torah portions we have of the 54. And I want to share with you how Torah portions in general get their names. Typically, it's the first important or significant word in the portion. Sometimes that's the very first word. In some cases, it's not until 10 or 11 or even 15 words in. And I believe in one case, it's not until the second verse. There are a lot of Torah verses that begin with Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, which means God spoke to Moses saying, which happened a lot of the time in Torah. So I want to break a couple of things down. 6 of the Torah portions have timestamps on them. They have to do with when things begin or end. The most famous one is, the very first portion, Bereshit. At the beginning of time, God created the heaven and the earth. There's another Torah portion that talks about at the end of things, at the end of an era. There's a Torah portion called Acharei Mot, which means after the death, and so on and so forth. There are another 6 Torah portions that are named for people. So of the 54, very few of them are named for people. And of those that are named for people, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of them are named for, let me rephrase this. 1, 2, 2 of them are named for Hebrews or Israelites. The rest of them are named for people who, 3 of them are named for Israelites, and the rest of them are named for people who are not Israelites. The ones who are not Israelites are Noah. He wasn't a Jew, because he came before Abraham. Another one was Yitro, who was Moses' father-in-law. And another was Balak, who was the enemy of the Jews who eventually came to bless us. One of the Torah portions that's named for a person is named for a woman, and that is Sarah. It's called Chaye Sarah, the life of Sarah. There are 9 Torah portions that have commandments as their names, like Lech Lecha, go forth and do something. There is one called Sav, which commands the people to do something. 11 Torah portions are named for past actions. And he went, and he saw, and he called. Things like that. 3 of them are for future actions. When you do this, when you do that. 2 of them are for present actions. One of them we read at Yom Kippur yesterday, Kiddushim, be holy. That's something that's not past, that's not future, that's right now. Let's go out and do holiness. And the other one we read yesterday also. Both of the present tense ones are Yom Kippur related. It's called Nitzavim, standing. We are standing here right now. Yom Kippur is all about what we can do today to capture Judaism. 15 of the Torah portions are simply names of are nouns. For example, there's generations, there's one called judges, and there is one called Shemot, names. And 2 of them are named for places. One of them is Bahar, meaning the mountain of Sinai. The other is Bamidbar, meaning in the wilderness or in the desert. I believe I just added all that up to 54 when I talked about the numbers of each ones. All different kinds of Torah portions. Here's what I think is relevant to us today. The Torah portion for this Shabbat is called Ha'azinu. It means listen. It's kind of like another form of the word Shema. They're synonymous. Listen. This is the second to last Torah portion in the entire book. And what Moses wants us to do is pay close attention to who we are. Listen very closely. And here's what ties it in beautifully. The next Torah portion, which is the last Torah portion in the cycle, is called V'zot HaBracha, meaning this is the blessing. Think about those 2 in conjunction. Listen right now. And if you listen deeply and closely, no matter what's going on in the world, you will be able to find a blessing that exists in the world. It doesn't mean ignore the people who need our help. It means dig deep to find the blessing that is therein. So friends, as we go through the various cycles in our lives, we think about what bookmarks we have. What do we reach for in the future? What do we reflect on in the past? What's about today? What's about right now? We think about the places where we are. Are we standing Bahar Sinai on a mountaintop looking around? Or are we in the wilderness? Because those are both important kinds of places. We think about things that frame our time. Before someone died, after someone died, before I went to college, while I'm in college, before my bat mitzvah, and after. These are important time marks in every single one of them. Think about this week's portion and next week's. Listen up, pay attention to where you are, and find that blessing. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Amen. We now continue with our concluding prayers. The Elena is on page 282. We invite all who are able to rise once again. As we prepare for the mourner's Kaddish, I offer the following reading on page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. So it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. The stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. At this time, we remember friends and family of our community who have died, who continue to shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces. We remember first those for whom we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, including Jack Gold, Shelley Serpin, Leslie Eigner, Henry Zwang, and Constant Patty. Is there anyone in the community who's observing Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning? And for those who are joining via Zoom or YouTube, please, we invite you to place those names of all you're thinking of in our chat box. We continue with the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat. And we begin with those who have plaques in our Sue and Jerry Erfrig Memorial Room. Al Bolgantz, Eugene Caro, Faye Cohen, Dar Kaganovich, Jack Lasky, Louis Luber, Frank Milberger, Anna Perlo, Heinz Pulverman, Margaret Rains, Carolyn Rogers, and Rabbi Mordechai Soloff, one of my predecessors. We also remember Solomon Abkai, Gertrude Backrack, Erwin Bernstein, Ben Bernstein, Stanley Blaustein, Ann Kane, Martin Krieger, Donnie Duncan, Claire Jenikoff, Sarah Jass, Julius Carpin, Leo Casson, Abraham Knopf, Pi Previff, Brett Lessing, Harvey Levenberg, Richard Lobenthal, Irene London, Peter Matkowski, George Miller, Goldie Rubin, Jacob Rubin, Molly Schulman, Stephen Serlin, Max Shapiro, Iris Steinberg, Marilyn Sternfeld, Sylvia Stock, Anne-Marie Tasson, Michael Trank, Morris Trank. Are there additional yard sites that those in the community are observing?
Anita Cohen.
May their memories guide us all with goodness. We turn in our prayer book, in our Siddur, to page 294. We ask the congregation to rise once again. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shmerava, Yamad Urach Roteh Yamlev Malkoteh, Chaychon Yometon, U'Chaye Techol Beit Yisrael, Bagalau V'Yizman Karib Imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Olmei Olmaya. Yitarach, Yishtabach, Yitba'ar, Yitromam, Yitnaseh. Yitadar, Yitalev, Yitalav. Shemei Tekudashah B'Rechu. Le'elam Min Kol Berchata V'Shirata. Tushtachata V'Nekramata. Damilam B'Yoma V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'Chaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Romah U'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. I ask that you remain standing, but close your books, put your books down behind you. Mimi, once again, we're so excited to celebrate with you. We're so excited to celebrate with you. It's been a long time that you've waited for this day, and a long time that a lot of us have waited, and that time has come. And you're helping bring normalcy to an abnormal time. So thank you so very much. We're going to close with the same nigun that we began with. So that's why you don't need your books. Just open your hearts and open your souls, and let's create a lot of peace in our world. Family can come back forward one last time.
Take the challah. You can't eat it through the plastic. And the Mervish family is going to lead us in the Hamotzi. And we ask everyone, so normally our custom at Temple Akiba is to either touch the challah or touch someone who's touching the challah. And these days we can't do that. So we pretend that we are sort of touching the challah. So we reach out our hands to pretend like we're touching the challah. If you're at home, you can reach your hands out towards the screen. And we are going to join together in the Hamotzi. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom, everyone.